So this year for the All Ireland Rosary Rally is very special because it is the 40th All Ireland Rosary Rally here in Knock. Isn't that amazing? 40 years. And so we're following in the footsteps of so many people who've come to Knock every first Saturday in June to pray Our Lady's Great Prayer, the prayer of the Rosary. Started in 1985 with Canon Michael Fitzgerald, and it's great to see that in these years it is growing and growing, as Father Richard said earlier on. We had over 10,000 people here the last 2 years, so we're hoping for 2 million this year. Why not? Let's aim high. We're hoping the crowd will grow even more this year. And the whole purpose of the All Ireland Rosary Rally is to follow, of course, in the footsteps of the great Father Patrick Peyton, who, as you know, had rosary rallies all over the world, hundreds and hundreds of them, over a number of decades, some of them as big as 2 million people, like in Manila and in Rio de Janeiro. Imagine, 2 million people at the Rosary Rally. I think Father Peyton spoke in front of something like 35 million people live. Very few human beings have done that, if any. It's extraordinary. And he came from Atimas, not too far from here. We're very grateful for the support of the Father Patrick Peyton Centre, who have their stand over there. Just waving over to them. And they've been supporting the All Ireland Rosary Rally for the last 20 odd years. They've been there for an awful lot of it. So we're very, very grateful to their support. And as Angela said earlier on as well, our other partners who are helping us to make this possible, Aid to the Church in Need, Marian Pilgrimages and Totus Tuus magazine as well. So we're grateful for all the support. And we need you guys to become ambassadors for the All Ireland Rosary Rally. Are you up for the challenge? Yeah? Will you spread the word? Yes. And I'll talk to you about how you will do that later on. But it's very, very important that you guys spread the word. There's a few hundred of you here today, and that we go out from here and we're inspired to spread the word, to tell people what we've heard in the great talks from Maria and from Father Eamon about the importance of the Rosary for our country and at this time. And it has been mentioned a few times, just one aspect of the Rosary I'll just speak about very briefly, the importance of meditation. The importance of just spending time pondering on the mysteries of the Rosary. And the Rosary gives us this great opportunity to do that. The great soon-to-be canonized Carlo Acutis, he famously said, didn't he, that the Rosary is like the Bible on the beads, right? And other people have said that. Pier Giorgio Frassati, who's a young man who died, 24, he'll be canonized at the Jubilee Youth event in the summer, please God. He said, someone said to him, do you carry a Bible around with you? And he took out his rosary beads and he said, I have the New Testament here on these beads. So the Rosary gives us this opportunity to meditate on, to go deeper into the life of Christ, the mysteries of Jesus Christ. Through the School of Mary, we're told, when we're praying the Rosary. And this is a very important part, because sometimes we can hear the Rosary kind of said, I suppose, not prayed like an auctioneer. Do you ever hear an auctioneer? Number 7. And, you know, we're really missing an opportunity there when we do that. It's so important that we try and enter into the mysteries. And I know our minds wander. All of our minds wander, don't they? And our minds are probably more distracted nowadays than they've ever been, with all the social media and the messages and everything coming to us the whole time. But how pleasing it is to Our Lady and to Jesus when you persevere and try to meditate and enter more deeply into the mystery. Contemplate the resurrection, you know, when you're praying the glorious mysteries. The great hope there is in you. If you're having a bad day, then this will set you right and help you to know that there's something much, much bigger at play here, that God is always in control, the great joy that it is to be a follower of Jesus Christ, etc. So the Rosary helps us to do that. And the mere, you know, recitation or praying of the prayers as well is really, it kind of relaxes our spirit too, doesn't it? You know, Hail Mary, full of grace, the breathing even there, it kind of soothes our soul, as does the fingering of the beads. You know, people after World War I, when soldiers were greatly traumatized, Fulton Sheen, you say that they would get them to knit or to crochet just to kind of soothe them, to calm their souls. And the praying of the Rosary does that to us as well. So many reasons to pray the Rosary. But I won't talk too much more, because I want to talk now about the program for June the 7th, the first Saturday in June, the 40th All Ireland Rosary Rally. And so last year we added on something new, which was the Marian Conference in the morning. The All Ireland Rosary Rally used to be just in the afternoon, but we added in this Marian conference in the morning. Huge crowd came that we had to close the doors soon after it started. And the Marian conference this year will be continuing here in St. John's Centre. You'll see our speakers this year are going to be Archbishop Francis Duffy, who's the Archbishop, of course, of the Archdiocese of Tuam. We also have Father John Harris, a Dominican priest. I'm sure many of you know Father John. And also Christine O'Hara. And Maria Steen spoke earlier about, pockets of people around the country who are promoting the Rosary in schools. Well, Christine is in Cork in a place called Colosh de Criasry, and she has 3 Rosary groups going in the school, secondary school, and also she has an adoration club going. So she's going to share these things and how she has done this, etc., with us and help us all to be courageous enough to try and get little Rosary groups and things happening. Then between 10 and 12 o'clock, we will have a marquee outside here where people will be able to learn how to make rosaries and to make scapular and rosary making workshops. 11:30, then we will have a lot more apostolates from around the country here, about 20 apostolates or so. So it's a chance for you to meet, and as Father Raymond was saying, to mix and to share ideas and to talk and discuss and to leave Knock on June the 7th with a plan, and to get more involved in some way and to be Our Lady's instrument into whatever way she prompts you. At 12 o'clock, we're going to do something which we did last year, which was wonderful. We had several hundred people who all wore white T-shirts and other people who wore red T-shirts, and we made a living rosary. And we had a video drone overhead, filmed the rosary with a message of the pray the rosary every day. So we'll be doing that this year again. So that's very, very exciting. And then at 1 o'clock, we will have our keynote speaker in the Basilica. And we're flying all the way from the United States, Monsignor Steve Rossetti. Do you know Monsignor Steve? A lot of you will know him. He's a wonderful, wonderful speaker, and he's an exorcist, and he's going to come and tell us all about the power of the Rosary. He's going to pray healing prayers as well on people. So anyone who's struggling at this time in health in whatever way, tell them to come and for that talk at 1 o'clock with Monsignor Steve Rossetti. Then we have the Stations of the Cross. Father Rory Brady from the Diocese of Raphoe will be leading us in the Stations of the Cross outside. Then we have the Rosary Procession, which is one of the great highlights of the day. Take place at 2:30, outside again, and it's amazing just to see thousands and thousands of people processing, praying the Rosary here in Knock. The high point of the day will be the Holy Mass. Our chief celebrant will be Bishop Donald McKeown. That'll take place in the Basilica. We'll have many priests there to can celebrate, and there will also be the anointing of the sick for those who maybe would like to be anointed, who are struggling with illness in whatever form. After the Mass, then we enter into the afternoon/evening part of the day, and these are all new aspects this year. So from 4:30 to 6, we're going to have a picnic out in the grass area here. So bring some food, and the idea is that you share with other people, and you talk to other people, and you get to know other people, and we build friendships, and as Father Richard was saying earlier, we share the joy of being a follower of Jesus Christ. So that's a new aspect, the picnic this year. So that should be very, very interesting. And then at 6 to 8 o'clock here in St. John's, we're going to have a youth conference. This is a new aspect again this year. Our speakers will be Father Luke Damasi. We have the Home of the Mother Sisters here. So Father Luke is one of the Home of the Mother Brothers. Danielle Stevens, who's coming from the UK to speak to us. And also Monsignor Steve Rossetti will be addressing the young people as well. So if you know young people between the ages of 18 to 35, do tell them to come and stay for the evening conference. And then something that's very, very, very exciting, because it's the eve of Pentecost this year, we're going to have a special vigil, 3-hour vigil, adoration in the Basilica. Monsignor Steve Rossetti again will be leading elements of that. And also Father Joseph Mary, one of the CFR fathers, a brother of Father Bernardino, who will be leading our Mass this afternoon, will be leading the prayers and the adoration in the Basilica. So that's going to be beautiful from 8 to 11 o'clock. And the next day, we're going to climb Crowpatrick, for those who are able. And we're going to have the Holy Mass on top of Crowpatrick, and we're going to offer that especially for Ireland. So it's quite a program, isn't it? And you have all the details there. We handed out. Has everyone got one of these? Yes. So you have here posters and flyers, and we want you to spread the word. Is that okay? Yes. Will you do that? Yes. Great. And so if you're planning on putting some of the posters in churches, of course, ask for the priest's blessing first. Don't just put them up. And it's always good, we can leave these flyers at the back of churches, but it's also, I think, even better to speak to people about the Rosary Rally, tell them about it, and then give them a flyer, That'll be far more effective. There'll be loads of buses coming as well from all over the country. We'd I think it was around 60 buses last year, and we're hoping to have many more this year. So if any of you are able to bring a bus, maybe that's something you do for Our Lady, put your hand up and say, I'll bring a bus. And there's a spot at the bottom here where you write your phone number for the buses. Okay, it says local bus organizer. So you just write that, you let us know, you contact us through the website, allirelandrosaryrally.com, and that's at the bottom of the leaflets and the poster as well. And if you want more posters, more leaflets, we have tons of them here at the stand, so do come and take some more. We want them to get out there. We want them to get into parishes and for people to come to know about the All Ireland Rosary Rally on June the 7th. So we're going to have to really work hard. As Father Raymond was saying, it's not easy at times. We're going to have to persevere. We're going to have to, tell people maybe we don't feel like it, and work really hard to make this year's All Ireland Rosary Rally the biggest yet. Okay? We want 2 million people, isn't it? So we're going to have to work really, really hard. And if it gets too big for the Basilica, for the Mass, we'll move outside. No problem. When Mother Teresa came here, I don't know how many were there. The sisters, do we know? Her sisters are here. I think it was 20 or 30,000 people, something like that. They had the Mass outside. So all things are possible. And we want people to start coming to knock again. That's very, very important. We're very good at going, to pilgrimages in different places. I love to go to Fatima myself, but knock is very, very important too. And it's rare that we see a statue of Our Lady in Knock around Ireland, isn't it? So we want to change that as well. Because she came here as the Queen of Ireland with a message for us and for our times. So very important that we tell people about that too. So I think you've all been given one of these forms as well. Have you got these? So this is a volunteering form. We need your help not only in promoting the All Ireland Rosary Rally around the country, but also we need volunteers on the day. So there's details there. If you can fill that out, if you're willing to help, it would be fantastic. You might know other people as well who will help, and just return them to the All Ireland Rosary Rally stand at the back. And also, we need help before June the 7th to promote it. So if you're leaving your phone number, you might join a WhatsApp group. So you might indicate that you're okay. We have your permission to add you to a WhatsApp group, and we'll send you all the videos and promotional material and everything that you can get out to people. And if you're able to organize a bus, etc., that would be fantastic. And all the details, the buses and everything will be all on that same website, allirelandrosaryrally.com. We also need donations, dear friends, of course, to make this happen. It's expensive. It's getting more expensive every year. So if you're in a position to donate, no matter how small, we have buckets at the back or up here. And if you're more technically minded, you can do it online as well. There's a QR code that you put into your phone, and I'm not sure exactly how it works, but it does work. So be very grateful for any financial assistance. And also, your spiritual assistance is so, so important. As an ambassador now, you're here, you love the Rosary, you wanted to come and hear these great talks, you wanted to come support the All Ireland Rosary Rally in June, so you love the Rosary, but we've got to pray for the event as well, don't we? Pray for people's safety, pray that people will be touched, pray that many people will come, that people will have the courage to promote it, because it takes a bit of courage to promote it. And so if you can have masses offered up, if you can include this in your daily prayers, pray rosaries, etc., it would be really, really helpful, and help it to be a great, great and blessed event. That's the most important thing. We don't just want a good day out, or day and a half really if you include Croagh Patrick the next day. We want it to be a blessed event, don't we? And that people are blessed, and that they come to know Jesus Christ more deeply through Our Lady, to Jesus through Mary. So that's all I kind of have to say. I want to leave some time really for you to prepare for Mass. We're going to go now to the Apparition Chapel. As I said, after Mass we will have an opportunity to do the 15 minutes meditation. And the first Saturdays, dear friends, are very, very important for our times. We live in a world that there's so much peace, isn't there? Peace everywhere. Isn't it a great world at peace? No, that's not our experience, is it? There is war. and war, and there's war in our families, in our communities, in our church, in various nations against each other, etc., etc. And Our Lady in Fatima, she said that if you do what I ask you to do, this was in the midst of World War I, there will be peace, and many souls will be saved. And so she asked us to make the first Saturday devotion. This is really, really important. And what we're doing is we're repairing the damage of sins committed against her Immaculate Heart. That's what it is. We're repairing the damage that sins have done to her Immaculate Heart. And after the Fatima apparitions, Sister Lucia, it's the 100th year now of 1925, when Our Lady and Jesus appeared to her when she lived in a place called Pontevedra in Spain, 8 years after the Fatima apparitions. And the first Saturday devotion was explained and how it makes reparation and what we need to do. And then Jesus said to Sister Lucia about the importance of this, and that there are so few people to make reparation to Our Lady's Immaculate Heart. So Jesus came especially to re-emphasize the importance of this devotion. And then a short time later, when Sister Lucia was bringing out the trash, the rubbish, to the dumpsters or whatever, in the convent, this boy comes up to her and she says to the boy, "Now I want you to go down to the parish church and I want you to ask Our Lady to bring you closer to Jesus." And so the boy toddled off, and then a few weeks later she met the same boy again, and she went up to him and she said, "Now, did you do what I asked you to do? Did you go down to the parish church and ask Our Lady to help you to come closer to her son Jesus?" And the boy said, "And did you do what my Blessed Mother asked you to do?" And spread devotion the first Saturdays. So this was Jesus. So Jesus came to Sister Lucia 3 times to emphasize the importance of this devotion the first Saturdays. The promise is, if you do what I ask you to do, there will be peace and many souls will be saved. And Sister Lucia said in 1939, we know what happened in 1939, World War II, she said, whether there is war or peace in the world depends on the practice of this devotion. And this devotion is not being practiced much in our world today, dear friends, and we see the consequences of that. So heaven has given us this peace plan. And all we have to do is once a month on the first Saturday, it's like a little retreat that you make. Receive Holy Communion, pray the Rosary, and a lot of you are probably doing those 2 things already. Spend 15 minutes meditating on a mystery of the Rosary, and go to confession either on the day or as soon afterwards as you can. And the 4 of those things are done for one intention: to make reparation for sins committed against the Immaculate Heart of Mary. You see, God has given us this great gift of his mother and her Immaculate Heart. She told Lucia in Fatima, "My Immaculate Heart will be your refuge and the way that will lead you to God." And we're abusing that gift of Our Lady, and people are blaspheming against her and mocking her. And she mentioned 5 sins in particular which cause these great offenses. People saying she wasn't a virgin, people saying she wasn't the mother of God, people saying she wasn't immaculately conceived, people teaching children bad things about Our Lady and depicting her in a blasphemous way in images and statues, etc. So we repair this great damage, these great sins, by making the first Saturday. So we're going to have the 15-minute meditation after the Mass, and then the Children's Rosary will be after that as well. So thank you all very, very much for listening. I hope you will have enough material, because you're going to rush. There's a few of the lads down the back there, the organising committee, the All Ireland Rosary Rally stand. I know you're going to rush towards them now and take more posters and more flyers and sign up as volunteers. And let's make this the biggest and greatest All Ireland Rosary Rally yet. So thank you very much, everyone, for coming, and God bless you all.